that was the wrong screen. There we go. All right, so let's take a look at Liquipedia here. So, a couple things kind of wrapping up. So, obviously, we got the Starlighter I-League Star Series event, the qualifiers happening. Now, the European region, it officially wrapped up yesterday, kinda. I mean that because we actually found out our top two teams. Liquid has already been qualified. They qualified earlier in the week, actually. They knew that they were going to be good to go. But yesterday, we had to helped us find out another team because Team Secret actually beat Ad Phenom 2-0, which earned them the spot. If Secret only won, or if they split the series, or especially if Secret lost, then we still would not have known who the second team is. But because Team Secret won 2-0, they guaranteed that second seed. No matter what happens in the matches today of Secret versus Vega and Ad Phenom versus Alliance, it will be Team Secret moving on. Because the best that can happen is Ad Phenom finishes tied with Team Secret. However, Team Secret has the tiebreaker because they beat Ad Phenom 2-0. So they do the head-to-head tiebreaker first, which makes sense to me in a group stage format. So it will be Team Secret and Team Liquid. I'm excited to see Team Secret, again, especially with them having KZU on the roster, a former Han player, and a great player at that, a player that's grinded really hard to make his best in the competitive scene, and it's definitely showing off. So excited to see how he does here on Team Secret moving into the main event. Now I'm sure he's excited. Again, Team Liquid definitely is going to be a more and more fun team to watch, I feel like, as well. They obviously a star-studded team, and clearly showed right here that it's not a fluke by any means. So as far as a couple of disappointments, Ad Phenom, not really. I had to see, again, Ad Phenom, they just had momentum at the Boston Major. They just had momentum, and they just fed off of it at the Boston Major. I think if you talk to any reasonable person that watches competitive Dota 2, watches the European region especially, they would tell you that Ad Phenom isn't necessarily the best team in the European region. They just happen to be on a hot streak when it came to the Boston Major event. And they're a good team. They're definitely a top 5 team, I think you could argue. But when it comes to them not making the main event here to this event, I don't think anyone should be necessarily too surprised. It's not like they did horrendous, a 2-2-2 record, and then depending on how they finish today against Alliance, overall, not too shabby of a performance. With the new patch and everything, again, different things coming up. So, but as far as that goes, I think that's maybe the only thing you can kind of look at as like, okay, maybe some people would see that as an upset, but again, I personally don't. Na'Vi had an interesting run. They went 1-5-1, so they split a lot of teams. Going 2-0-1 and then 0-2 in another. So, but of course, with their new roster, people were excited to see what they were going to be about. And I think a 1-5-1 record actually for this new Na'Vi roster is actually pretty respectable, considering. So, yeah, again, it played out as really maybe a lot expected. I still think Alliance is not living up to their expectations, which is unfortunate because I do like Alliance, and they got several players on that team: Hanskin, Jonas Fan, and Olymp that are former Han players, and I would love to see them do well, but they've kind of been a below top tier team when it comes to the European region as of late with their results. So another case here. I don't think it's an upset that they didn't make the top 2 by any means, but more so it's just it's a little unfortunate. But again, it's a very, very tough region, and understandable that obviously not everyone's going to make it. So, but yeah, Team Secret and Team Liquid, the two teams that are moving on. Again, I don't think those are any big surprises either to anyone. So, not that it played out as expected, but again, the European region, there's not any massive surprises either when it comes to the results right here. So that's the European region. The American region, a little bit different in that it's actually coming down to the final day, which is pretty cool. And it turns out that the final day is only consist of one match, Complexity versus Team NP. Now, I was saying yesterday that Complexity needs to go 2-0 to send DC to the main event and dropping NP out. However, actually looking at it and then getting confirmation today, I was misjudging the points and everything. It turns out that NP, Complexity only needs to win one game. Even if Complexity wins one game, if they split the series, then we'll have a tie for first place between NP and Digital Chaos, and then it goes to tiebreaker. Now, in their head-to-head, they did tie, so I don't know what the tiebreaker is. I'm in the channel, actually, and they still haven't confirmed on exactly what the tiebreaker would be if that ends up happening, which is very possible. So that'll be interesting to see what happens. Maybe they'll end up playing like a best of 3 or something like that to truly determine. We'll see. But If NP goes 2-0, however, they're going to the main event 100%, no questions asked. There's no tiebreaker, obviously, so. Sorry. Something in my freaking tooth. Freaking dentist. Anyways, so yeah, when it comes to that, it's going to be interesting to see how it comes down to tonight. Well, when is this match? I want to say it's at 8 p.m. Eastern. I'm mistaken. Yeah, 20 Eastern, so that is 8 p.m. Eastern. Yeah, 8 p.m. Eastern or 2 a.m. Central European time. All right. Other than that, as far as upcoming events, the Dota 2 Asian Championship qualifiers are actually beginning here. The Southeast Asian begins basically later on tonight into the morning here, as you got your Group A and your Group B. So that'll be fun to keep an eye on. Of course, you got your favorite teams. TNC, no doubt, has to be the favorite as of late, I think, as well as Faceless. So you got the each of those teams from each of their groups. And then you got other teams that definitely have solid chances. You know, Warriors Gaming Unity and Mineski are two teams that most certainly people would know about from the Southeast Asian region as far as having a chance here. So these qualifiers, only the first place team moving on. The American qualifier, same deal, first place team moving on. Their matches starts tomorrow, I believe. Yeah, it looks like it starts tomorrow in the afternoon here. Wanted will make their debut tomorrow against Digital Chaos. Talk about a difficult matchup there to kick things off. But Wanted versus Digital Chaos, that should be fun. And then Complexity versus Team Freedom to follow. Does Group B also play, or do they play the next day? Okay, Group B plays the next day, so it's just Group A tomorrow, it looks like. And they're doing their GSL format, which, again, we were kind of talking about the format of the Starletter qualifiers and how they probably didn't think about it the best as far as, like, the matches meaning stuff later on and how there's only one spot for 8 teams, blah, blah, blah. This is a lot better of a format. This means every series, essentially, it matters. You're playing for something. Ultimately, your tournament lives, where it's not just a meaningless match that'll happen. So GSL format, really a great format, and excited to see that this tournament here is deciding to run with that. So we'll see how that turns out for the DAC. And again, the American Regional, I'm excited for, again, want to make their debut tomorrow night. So I know I'll be tuning in for that. I'm sure you guys will as well. So I'll be watching it at least, maybe on stream. We'll see. But yeah, this will be interesting to see which of these teams, of course, to make it on. Obviously, DC and NP, just like the other one, have to be the favorites in it right here. As far as the European qualifiers, where are they? There we are. European qualifiers, again, the top team. You got your groups here. This starts, does it also start tomorrow? It does also start tomorrow. Yeah, same thing. Group A tomorrow, and then Group B. Adfina versus Bears, and then Navi versus Secret. So we're getting right into another qualifier here. So it's almost like the star ladder for a lot of these teams. It's like, okay, what's done is done. If they didn't make it, they get another chance here with the DAC. And then the CIS qualifiers, of course, I'm going to guess also starts tomorrow. It looks like it does. So Virtus Pro, of course, going to be the favorites here in the CIS qualifiers when it comes down to it. So anyways, that's the DAC, so that'll be a lot of fun to follow, and of course we'll keep updated throughout the days here as it takes place. But I think that's going to wrap it up for the daily recap, guys, so hopefully you guys enjoyed this. Thanks for tuning in, and be sure to check out all my daily recaps. I do my best to do a daily recap at the start of my streams, my Twitch channel over at twitch.tv/BreakyCPK, and I also upload them to YouTube, of course. So thanks for tuning in, guys. I'll see you at the next one. All right. There we go. All right, let's claim some rewards.